What is up, everybody? We are back. I am George Mossey. Please say hello to my co-host, Cara. So we ran out of time. I had to cut my co-host, Cara, off. 90 Day Fiance, The Other Way, Season 4, Episode 13, Part 2 of the podcast. And we're talking about Jen and Rishi. And you had some thoughts about Randy, because Randy decided that it was time to end the waiting and make a huge announcement to the family against the wishes of Rishi, and it backfired, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Jen doesn't know yet that it backfired because she wasn't a part of that private situation and conversation with Rishi's family. So Randy and Jen think that things are going well. Things are not going well. So how do you feel about the idea of Randy taking matters into her own hands and snooping into this relationship and almost maybe ending it? Because if Rishi doesn't make the decision to go against his family, it's going to be over.
Well, we all know that Randy's been putting her nose where it doesn't belong from the very get-go. But I don't know who thought it was a good idea to bombard the parents. All of a sudden, there's three strangers in your home, one you've met for 10 seconds, and all of a sudden you find out that she's engaged because she brought, just like the mom said, I need my family to support us. You brought your support, So all of a sudden it was all this information. The only way for her to react was positively. So she didn't cause a scene in front of everybody else, like a mom taking her kid, I'll deal with you later kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly where it went, because they were trying to host, they were trying to be nice, but it was all over Rishi's face. That poor guy, he was so blindsided, and that just wasn't right.
I saw the look on his face because he kept saying, I'm relieved, I'm excited. I was like, well, tell your face. Your face
Yeah.
is telling me that
Yep.
face is telling me that you are hurt, you are upset, you are confused, you are angry,
Yep.
and you're blindsided and you don't know what to do. I was like, your face is telling me something else.
Yep.
So I knew right then and there, this is not going to go well. Rishi knows his mother and his uncle way more than we do, way more than Randy does. So he knew how this was going to go down. And he was just like, this was not the way to handle this situation.
Yes.
Thanks a lot, Randy.
Yes.
Like now, 3 years are going to be going down the drain here because this is not how it was supposed to go.
Yep. It just breaks my heart. I feel like if they would have let it slide and go to August 2nd, I feel like he would have came clean with everything. He would have been able to, smooth a few things over before he dropped the bomb. But when he dropped the bomb, it wasn't going to be two bombs back to back. Not only am I getting married, not only is she 16 years older than me, not only are we not living with you, but we're getting married tomorrow. It wouldn't have been like that. It wouldn't have been like that. That was unnecessary.
So let's talk about Danielle and Johan. So after the date, that I keep calling it a date, she's probably going to hate me for that.
It was very much a date.
After the date, she comes home and she's like, I'm going to cook Johan some shrimp pasta and make everything better and smooth things over. Well, things were not better. Johan was like, food in your hand does not change the way I feel. It does not change the fact that I didn't want you to go and you decided to go anyway. So she somehow works her magic, maybe cast a spell on him or something, and decided to get him to go and meet Talon, which I think was a horrible idea because he had said, I don't know, maybe 20 times, I don't want to meet him. I don't want to interact with him. I don't even want you interacting with him. So I knew that the meeting was not going to go well. I know that Johan said, I'm going to go, but he never said I'm going to behave. He never said that I'm going to appease you and make sure that you're comfortable, because why should you be comfortable when I'm uncomfortable? Right?
But
like that's how
Johan. There would
Johan.
be consequences, and now they're revealing.
So the consequences were him questioning Talon, which is funny because at the apartment, Danielle said you can question him, you can ask him questions so you can feel better about the situation. And then as he began to ask the questions, Danielle's like, you shouldn't ask that. Don't ask that. And I was like, Danielle, you said in order for him to feel better, he would have the opportunity to question Talon and get a better feeling of who he is. And then when he tries to do that, you tell him, don't say that. Don't ask that. The questions, though, is what got everyone tonight. Twitter was going crazy. So shoe size, height, package size, sexual questions. I was like, Johan really, really turned it up a notch. And I'm for this. I was
Me
like,
too.
Johan, she is
Team
making
Johan.
you feel. Yeah, she's making you feel super uncomfortable. So why not return the favor? Why should she sit at that table and feel super comfortable after what she did and after what she put you through, knowing that your insecurity comes from women who've cheated on you in the past and did exactly these types of things behind your back? Not only is she doing it in your face, but she doesn't care that it hurts you. And she doesn't care that your feelings and how you feel that you've given that information to her. She's like, well, I'm still going to do it. And I think that you should be okay with it. He's not going to be okay. So now, after all that, she's like, well, I don't feel like he trusts me. And I'm like, Danielle, Why would he trust you after you've had a huge fight, more than one fight actually, over this situation, and you still went out and you still met with Talon, and now you have him out with Talon, and it's like, what is going on? What do you want? A three-way? Like, cut it out. He said
she
that
started with a lie. We're going to America. We're going to live in New York. We're going to do this. Oh, now that I'm here, we're not. So lie number one, right out of the gate. She says, this isn't the man that I married, blah, blah, blah. I can't live with someone like this. Well, you started it. You started lying right off the bat. But if he showed up with, if he wanted her to meet an ex-girlfriend and she was a short blonde and, you know, similar, she'd be like, oh, wow, he's got a type, short blonde with curly hair. And she would be making comments like that too if she was uncomfortable or didn't trust him. So she's out of line. I am so team Johan.
I love this meeting. I love the way that he handled it, because Johan is inserting his dominance into this relationship.
Yes.
He is letting Danielle know, look, you are not calling all the shots. You are not going to tell me what to do, how high to jump, and I do it. I am going to insert my opinion and my feelings in, whether you like it or not. And I feel like she doesn't like it. Danielle's like, I don't think I know him. I don't know who I married. I don't know if he's going to change. And I was like, well, this is who you married. He might not have spoken up before you guys got married, but this is who he is. And if he feels that way, he has the right to tell you exactly how he feels. And you need to listen. You need to take those comments and feelings into consideration. And I feel like she hasn't been doing that all season. Everything that he tells her is in one ear, out the other. He was like, this bothers me. And she's like, well, I'm going to do it anyway. And then I'm just going to try to make you, like, give the solution is you just have to be okay with it. That's not even compromise. That's like absolute, like, control of someone, right?
You don't get to go on a date with your ex and then come home and be like, come in and help me. And then he comes in, oh, look, he's here because I have food. No, he's there because you called him in. Stop flipping the script and making it about you. That was not the case. He said consequences will happen if you do this meeting, and he is slowly dishing them out, and it's awesome.
I love it. I live for it. And she said that she's going to reconsider their relationship. And if she does, if she wants to leave Johan, I think Johan will have no problem finding a woman who will listen to him and appreciate him for the love and respect that he does give her. He, like you said, he's not bringing any ex-girlfriends around and going out on boat rides with them. He respects his wife. He expects that same respect in return. And I feel like if Danielle wants to walk away, she can. Johan will have no problem finding a woman who wants to respect and give him the respect that he wants. So Danielle, if you want to do that, I think that that's your choice, but you're leaving a good man. And leaving a good man is going to be a mistake on your part.
I agree. And you're not going to find somebody in New York that's like Johan. So good luck.
Not even close. All right, so we got some information with Debbie and Osama tonight, and we know Osama's master plan. His master plan, which was to, so he wants to be a poet and artist and painter in the United States. And for some reason, somebody gave Osama the information that poets, artists, and painters make amazing money here in the States. Like, if that's your occupation, you're just swimming in money and yachts and Jaguar vehicles and Porsche trucks. I don't know who gave him this information, because he's like, oh, I don't have a future here as an artist. And I was like, our nickname for artists here in America is starving artist, meaning they don't even have enough money to eat. So I was like, I don't know which Google they're using over there in Morocco where you got this information, but I was like, you don't have a future here either in poetry and painting. You have to have a couple other jobs, you know, and that's like something you can make money off of, but you're not going to make a living off of it. Because Debbie was like, I'm not going to be taking care of no man. I'm not going to marry somebody who wants a green card from me. She was like, that's never been the plan. And he lied. He even admitted, he said, yes, you're right. I did tell you that we were going to live in Rabat. I did tell you that we were going to do these things, but that's not what I want to do now. He literally lured Debbie over there on lies. And now she's stuck in a country where she can't trust anyone. She knows no one. His family was in on it. Everyone was in on this except Debbie. And now she's calling Julian, and Julian was like, let's get you home. And she said the most terrifying thing on this episode. She's like, well, I don't know if I'm just ready to throw in the towel. I just want to get my friend back. I miss him. And I was like, Debbie, get on the first plane right now. There is no friendship here. If he lured you here and lied to you, there was never a friendship here.
I think it was amazing the way Julian supported her. I mean, he did throw in the little twist of, I'm not going to say I told you so, which was the AKA I told you so. But it was awesome the way he supported her. And he was like, let's just get you home, because he could already see. I mean, she was breaking my heart. The tears in her eyes when she's talking, and she said, I deserve it. No, you don't, Debbie. You fell victim to love, wanting love, and you thought you found it. So you don't deserve that. You deserve the best. You deserve the world. You don't deserve that crap. So don't ever take that. But the fact that Julian's right there saying, Mom, let's get you home, let's keep you safe, I think that was very admirable.
She needed that. She needed to hear just someone to care and support her, because it's so easy to say, well, I told you not to do it. Because I find myself doing that with my friends, and I'm like, that's not what they want to hear. They know that now.
Sure.
You know, they know that. No, that's not what they need to hear. They need to hear that, okay, well, let's make a plan. Let's get you safe. Let's get you home. Let's get you taken care of. That's what she needed to hear. And I'm just hoping that Julian can get through to her and she doesn't waste any more time in Morocco, because I don't want her to have any time to listen to anything else Osama has to say. It's all lies. It doesn't really matter. He's going to say whatever he thinks he needs to say to repair the situation. Hopefully this situation is beyond repair at this point, because there is no reason why Debbie should marry this man and bring him over to America, where he is under the impression he's going to be rich selling paintings, which is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. And I'm surprised Debbie didn't tell him, like, hey, I paint too, but I also have a business, and I also sell things online, and I have collectibles. Like, you are not going to make a living as a poet. I mean, come on.
Exactly.
Who believes that? So
also, you don't even write that good at poems, so there's that.
Yeah, we did hear that poem, and it wasn't that great. It didn't even really rhyme. You know, it was something. I'll say something. I don't want to say it was bad, but I'm not going to say it was going to win an award.
It was no $1 million poem, that's for sure.
So what do you think is going to happen? I know we're early, but I want to do next week. We're going to do predictions for the tell-all, like who's together, who's not. So what do you want to predict right now about Debbie and Osama? And then we'll do another one next week.
Gosh, I have such a bad feeling that he's going to talk her into staying a little longer. I don't think that they're going to stay together, but I do think he is going to talk her into just stay a little longer. I'm really sorry. He's going to try to weasel his way in there a little bit. I'm just waiting for Julian to land and just beat his ass. Plain
That's
and
what
simple.
I'm waiting for. Yeah, Julian is going to have to go there and get Debbie and bring her home, because Debbie is in love. And love makes you do crazy things. It makes you hear less and see less. So we need somebody who has none of those blinders on to go over there and help her see what's really going on, because I really want Debbie to be safe. And as long as she's over there with Osama, I don't feel like she's safe, because his intentions, his intentions have never been pure. He's never been honest. And did you notice after he told her the plan and he was like, well, yeah, he never apologized. He never said like, well, I'm sorry for deceiving you, but I just wanted that so bad and I didn't know how to tell you. No, there was no remorse in what he was doing.
The comment that she made that was a little concerning, well, there was quite a bit that was concerning about the whole situation. But when she made the comment, you're a completely different person at night. Like, that's scary. So where are you going tonight?
Yeah, that's true. She did say that. And I think that she was at a hotel after she took a cab from the farm. But right, if he's a different person at night, she's like, I don't know who I'm going to get. When night falls, I don't know who I'm going to get. That sounds like something out of a horror movie.
Absolutely.
Like, that's scary. And I just want her to come home and be with Julian. And if she wants to date, that's fine. But we need to start screening these guys for Debbie.
Yes.
Like, we can start a service where we screen the guys first.
Absolutely.
To make sure that these people have good intentions, because this is just so scary. She is literally the most genuine person. And I feel like genuine, loving, trusting people can be a victim so easily. They're targets. And I want to make sure that she doesn't have a target on her back.
Yep. She has the most purest heart, and she wants to be loved so bad. But she's got a ton of love to give, and she thought she found that. And, Julian saw right through it in the beginning. I think we all did. Let's be honest, we all kind of saw through it. But we all did have hopes that, it was what it seemed to be. And it was not at all.
All right, guys, that's all the time we have. So next week, Cara and I are going to give our predictions on who's still together and who's not together before the tell-all. Next week is the finale. I'm George Mossey. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms at George Mossey, georgemossey.com, and anywhere you get your podcasts. And please follow my co-host, Cara, too. Her links are right here at the bottom. This is the George Mossey Show. We'll talk to all of you guys next week.